You have to remember this. You don't have to buy every stock that goes up. You only have to buy every stock that's part of your watch list. Then part of your watch list, the ones that qualify or meet your buy slash sell criteria. And that's what's so important, because the biggest mistakes of a lot of people is they see a hot stock go up because everyone's talking about it, but it's not part of their plan, and they start to buy it because it's just talked about. Every time you deviate from your strategy, every time you deviate from your plan, every time you listen to the crowd, 100% of the time you will lose. 100% of the time it won't build confidence, because how can it build confidence if it's not something that came from your own analysis? It's not something that came from your own strategy. Hey guys, so I want to share and talk about how I analyze my stocks so that you also can gain a template, gain a strategy, get principles from this that you can deploy to your own portfolio so that you can analyze your stocks well. So this video is dedicated to Leah Rica Navarro from Munich, Germany. She's basically asking this: Hi, Sir Marvin. Like everyone else sending messages to you, I am a big fan from Munich. Thank you for the content that you would send out. It's so positive and uplifting. You are what Filipinos need at this time. I've been investing in the stock market for 3 years now, but it seems that I get easily swayed by people's posts and I buy. I want to know, sir, how do you maintain your composure in trading? How do you screen your stocks? Do you have a screener to watch every stock in the market? Your advice is highly appreciated. Leia Rica Navarro. First of all, thank you so much, Leia Rica Navarro, for the kind words, and thank you to every Filipino who's there in Germany, to our kababayans that are working hard, sending money, helping the economy. You guys are amazing. I know this is a different scenario for all of us, that it's not just the Philippines that's hit, it's also every country in the world, because we are in a new normal, we are in a pandemic that has no cure yet as of the time of this video. But I really do hope that we get to help as much Filipinos abroad as well, because I really know that you guys have a lot of sacrifices being far from your families and you trying to also invest to have a better future. That's why I've been doing videos like this on a daily basis. It's just really I want to change the narrative for Filipinos, because I really believe that Filipinos deserve better. You deserve better. Comment below, I deserve better. Now, to answer your questions, I want to start off with your question about composure. It was not like that before eh. Please remember, what you're seeing right now, the videos that you're watching, it's a product already of me being in the markets for more than a decade. But if you saw me when I was also starting out, when I was just new, when I was putting in money coming from my salary, it was a different scenario. Please remember, composure is something that you develop over time. It's a combination of years of experience in the markets, good and bad markets, earnings, experiencing the earnings, and also experiencing the losses. And the reason why the acumen is built and the reason why the composure gets built, because you have experienced time in the market. And 10 years from now, by 2030, you would have 13 years experience in the markets. By that time, I'm sure your composure would be different at year 13 versus at year 3. What's important is you don't stop. What's important is, from the mistakes that you've had over the past 3 years, what are the things that you can learn from them? What are the things that you can implement for your next set of trades? I'll say this over and over. A lot of people don't get where they want to go because they quit. My suggestion to you is right here, right now, make a decision. Good trade, bad trade, you make money, you lose money, you still carry on. And here's what I can say. I know right now that I'm better than where I was 13 years ago or 14 years ago when I started, but I still know also that there's still a long way to go in terms of growth, development, and learning in the world of stock market trading and investing. So basically, composure is not something that you just learn by reading a book. Composure is not something that you get by just watching a video. Composure is something that you get through years of experience. So nothing beats watching videos, after watching the video, deploying that information, and actually trading. And you know what's even better? Smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, I want to answer the question about the stock screener. When I started investing, there wasn't any stock screeners yet at that time. I think the first Apple iPhone was just released at that time. There weren't a lot of apps that we're seeing right now. I don't use any apps. I don't have any screeners to check what stocks am I supposed to buy. Whatever I do, it's old school, mano mano. But here's what I can share to all of you. I don't have a screener, but I have a watch list. And everything in the watch list is all that I need to watch. I don't watch anything above and beyond what's in my watch list. So my watch list is basically composed of stocks that I like based on either fundamentals, if I'm investing in it, if I'm trading, I try to look at the market cap, the liquidity, volume, price action, then I plot it with the charts as well. Please remember, in the Philippine Stock Exchange, what's so interesting about that, there's just a few stocks with very, very large market capitalization. And I like those stocks with larger market capitalizations because it helps me in terms of liquidity. And of course, in terms of trading, I like the ones that have volume and also have price action. If you notice it also, not a lot of stocks in the Philippines have volume. So that's how you can already start to filter it. If you are an investor, the ones that are not fundamentally sound, then you don't have to watch it anymore. The ones that are not so liquid, the ones that don't pass your qualifications for volume, you don't have to watch that. And of course, there's pros and cons to that. It means that there are some stocks that would go up that's not part of my watch list. Pero since it's not part of my watch list, I have to deal with the fact that I missed out on that. But I'm okay. You have to remember this. You don't have to buy every stock that goes up. You only have to buy every stock that's part of your watch list, then part of your watch list, the ones that qualify or meet your buy/sell criteria. And that's what's so important, because the biggest mistakes of a lot of people is they see a hot stock go up because everyone's talking about it, but it's not part of their plan, and they start to buy it because it's just talked about. Every time you deviate from your strategy, every time you deviate from your plan, every time you listen to the crowd, 100% of the time you will lose. 100% of the time it won't build confidence, because how can it build confidence if it's not something that came from your own analysis? It's not something that came from your own strategy. And the reason why I'm saying that I don't really use a screener for the Philippine markets, because in context, I've mentioned this in a lot of the videos that I've created, that I'm not just trading Philippine markets, I have Singapore and US markets. The Philippines only has 200 plus stocks. Compared to US and compared to Singapore, it's a very, very small market. And if you add the ones that have volume, if you add the ones that have fundamentals, if you add the ones that are liquid, then it becomes much, much smaller than that in that aspect. So, is there a point in time that there's no buy signal in any of the stocks in my watch list? Yes. What do? I don't do anything. I just wait patiently until any of those turn and have a buy signal. What matters to me in terms of trading and investing is I have to be faithful with the ones that I'm watching, but above and beyond that, I only transact when my parameters for trading, buying/selling, have been hit. So again, to reiterate, the Philippine market is small. Not all stocks have volume that's significant. There are a lot of stocks, but a lot of them don't fit my fundamental parameters for investing. For the ones that fit my fundamental parameters, here's what's nice to know. Since they're so good, their fundamentals don't change in a week. They don't change in 2 months. They don't change in 4 months. They don't change in 8 months. So that's why I'm okay with my current list. Meron ba nadadagdag sa watch list ko? Of course. Meron bang natatanggal? Of course. But you have to remember, if you are a fundamental investor, the ones that are good remain good for a long period of time. The ones that are bad, there needs to be something good about them to really be compelling for me to add it to my watch list. In the same way also for trading, the ones that have volume most of the time, the ones that have a good value turnover, those are the things that I just watch. So I hope you guys are learning. I hope this is something that's helping you. My name, by the way, is Marvin Gurmo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. And if you want to know more about trading and investing in the market, subscribe, smash that bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing, about trading, about the stock market. Again, all in all, the heart of why this channel is created is to help you, to guide you, to give you a firm foundation on how you can invest and trade the markets with confidence. So, to go back to your question, I wait for buy signals to emerge from stocks that are in my watch list, and that's the only time I transact. I don't have to transact all the time. I only transact when it makes sense to me. Please remember this. You don't have to transact all the time. You only have to transact when your buy signals or your sell signals start to emerge. Here's an example of that stock.
Okay guys, so I want you to see this. This is something that's very, very basic, but it does and gives a lot of merit in terms of how I have conviction in terms of how I do my trade. So I put my support here, I put my resistance here. I just try to deploy as much patience while it's not yet at my buy signal. For those who read the books or attended the seminars or at least watched our technical analysis videos, my goal is to buy as close as I can to the support. If it's far from the support or it's dropping from the resistance, I'm not doing anything. So this entire area, it's dropping. So the goal and the narrative, while it's dropping, while it's not at the support, you're supposed to be in cash. Or you're supposed to be, if you bought and you took profit somewhere here, you're already really in cash already because you're seeing it start to drop and you're seeing it also start to fall. Now, that being said, the 722 level is a support range. How do I know it's a support range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of it trying to hold. So the name of the game is buying as close as I can to the support, exercising patience until it hits my target, or cutting loss if it falls down here. Please remember, cutting loss is also part if you're trading. Don't be too optimistic thinking that you're just gonna sell with a profit. If you are trading, you also must realize that there will come a point in time, if you are trading, that it will also go down. It won't go the way you planned it to be. And the goal of technical analysis and the goal of trading really is that if you're right, you maximize it. If you're wrong, you minimize your losses. So my goal after buying here is to set a target to sell as close as I can when it hits 805 pesos again. But also, buying here, as long as this holds, no matter if it does not go anywhere, I'm just gonna hold. But once it starts to drop this level, I'm also going to get out. I'm also going to get out of that trade and then live to fight another day, even if it's at a loss. And this one, for example, just measuring it from the distance between support and resistance, this is around 11-12% already of a trade. So it's something that's decent. So imagine, syempre, the gain will be dependent on the size of your portfolio. If you're trading 10 million, 11% is already 1.1 million. If you have a million, 11% is 110,000 pesos. So the amount of gain that you will get is relatively based on how big the money that you put in. Again, it's a volume game. I'll give you another example. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you. This is Globe Telecom. I could draw a resistance somewhere here, and I could draw, just for the sake of this video, the support level. So same thing. This is the support. Conviction, every time it's lower, please remember when a stock drops, there's a bit of a bearish tone. People are scared. People don't want to buy. But me, I'm not buying it because people are scared. I'm buying it because I know that this is a support level. Then I'm going to ride it all the way here. After I ride it all the way here, I'm going to take profits here. Even though if the scenario is bullish, even if everyone's excited, if my plan is to take profits as close as 2,277, I'm going to sell. Then as it starts to drop over here, while it's going down, the name of the game is for me to be in cash. Now, look at it here. It tries to stay above this level. It's still at the support. So this could still be a buy signal as long as this 2049 level holds. But again, same technique as the first example I gave. If it drops here, I sell, cut loss, even though if it means that I would lose money in that trade. Please remember, the name of the game is not for you to play a perfect game, but the name of the game for you is to maximize your gains and minimize your losses. But if it continues its push up, I'm going to take profits and sell here at the 2,277 level. So same thing, same analogy, same style, 11% trade still. And if you notice it, it's not really something that's sexy. It's not something that people like because there's no hype, there's no speculation. It's something that's boring. Buy when my signals make sense, sell when my signals also make sense.
So there, I spend more time studying, I spend more time exercising patience, and less time monitoring. I repeat that. I spend more time studying, I spend more time exercising patience, and less time monitoring. It's a misconception that to make money in the market, you need to monitor it every minute. The money is in the analysis And in the discipline, it's not how many minutes you watch the stock. It's not also how many minutes you refresh the stock. It does not work that way. The technique really is to find what works for you and not to copy what other people are doing. Because I've been saying this all the time, what works for your friend is what works for him. It doesn't mean it will work for you. That's why you always have to do you. And there's no such thing as the best technical parameter out there. It does not exist. Everything works. Bollinger Bands would work. Fibonacci retracements will work. Moving averages will work. Trend analysis will work. Candlesticks will work. Drawing your own support and resistance will work. Putting in other parameters such as parabolic, SAR would also work. RSI, ADX, they all work. But you have to figure out what's the most effective to you. What gives you the most conviction? What, based on your own trading history, has given you the most amount of money? Also, from that, has given you the biggest amount of loss. Because I'll just stay away from the ones that has given me a larger amount of loss, and I'll double down on the ones that work for me. And it doesn't mean it looks complicated. It's gonna work for you. Sometimes, simple, basic, is mature. The more mature traders and investors know that it's not about being the smartest, it's not about being right, it's about being profitable. You could use the simplest mechanism out there, just even drawing support and resistance, but if it works for you, it doesn't matter what everyone else says. And it's time that you stop listening to the noise and start believing your own analysis, because that's what matters. You can watch all of my videos, but you cannot copy my conviction, because conviction comes through experience. Conviction comes through you knowing the nitty-gritty of what you're doing. That's why I've been always saying this, that patience would always win. And it's not the most sexy and exciting thing, but I'll never stop saying it, because sometimes what's the most boring is what will make you rich. And that's what I want. I want you guys to just win. I hope over the course of the past few minutes, I was able to answer your question, Leia Rica Navarro from Munich, Germany. And I hope also that to those listening here, this is something that added tremendous value to you. For those who want to know more about the markets, I have playlist videos in the description of the basics of the markets, ETFs, IPOs, technical analysis, fundamental analysis. All you have to do is click them. For those also want to do a deep dive, I have 5 books in the stock market. The links are in the description below. You can order them via Shopee. In the same way, I have 2 online courses, a Tagalog course with Chinkee Tan, which is about the basics of the market, and an English course on entrepreneurship and investing with Sean Si naman. Everything is in the description below. Everything you need to know for you to be able to enhance your trading skills are in the description below. So, I hope you guys are learning. If you are, put it in the comment section. If you guys have questions, put it in the comment section. You can send me a DM via Instagram if it's a personal question. Again, the best questions, I'll try my best to feature them in the podcast so that it adds as much value to all of you as possible. And if you got a lot from this, I appreciate it if you could press the like button, share this to a lot of people, because we need to build a new generation of Filipinos trading and investing the markets. To end, I just want to say this. I hope that this is not just a channel that teaches you how to make money, but it teaches you that life is above and beyond money. I want to encourage you that you devote your life into something that's bigger than you, so that even in trying times like this, you have something to live for, something to fight for. It has to be something bigger than you, that you're not just trying to save, you're not just trying to invest for the here and now. You're trying to invest, you're trying to save because there's a grander goal, there's a grander purpose of why you are doing it. That your money is not just for you to consume as much as you can, it's not just for you to make yourself super rich, but it's about you seeking that there's a purpose for prosperity, that there's a purpose that the richer you are, the more money you get, the more people you get to touch, the larger the influence that you have in this world, the more people that you get to help, the more people that whose lives will be better because of you. And I hope you get this. Not just the money aspect, but the purpose of why wealth is so important. And I'll never stop saying this. It's time for good people like you. It's time for good people, the ones who know how to handle money right, to get rich. And that's the crux of this. I hope you learned a lot. This is Marvin Gurmo. I hope this video helps you. Trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.